The last pooch. Oh, that was my first saying. Thank you.
That's definitely how we should start this episode.
You have screwed your last pooch.
I love us.
Oh, me too. I love the show, dude. It's so funny. It's good.
It is.
So,
speaking of screwing pooches,
delegation. Can you hear me? My mic's.
Yeah, I mean, well, not when your mug's in your mouth. Mug mouth.
Listen, if you still want my mug on your mug, comments. Comment. We want to push you to comment. Actually, you know what? Let's try some reverse
Psychology.
Reverse
Don't
psychology.
comment.
Don't comment. If you comment, I am going to delete you. Let's see if you comment now.
Or Meta just shuts us down.
Now you're confused. Should I comment or should I not comment? Don't comment. Whatever you guys do, don't comment on this episode. Whatever you do, don't comment. Delegation. Oh.
Delegation.
It's not what you think it is. Business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, managers out in the world, even those that are just in working, because you could be you don't have to be a manager, delegate, right?
Or even a family, a household.
Yeah, family, in your relationship, right? This is why we're going to talk about why most businesses fail at delegation. Okay, I want you to listen to this.
This is my listening face.
Have you ever noticed how delegation sounds simple until you actually try it? Everyone tells you just hand things off, trust your team, just stop doing everything yourself. But nobody talks about what happens when you do hand something off. And then it comes back wrong, or it comes back late, or half-assed, or full-assed, as Jessica would say. Don't think I forgot about that one. Look, or nowhere near your standard, right? Because we all have standards of our work, right? Nobody talks about that moment you realize you didn't save time. You just created more work, more stress, more cleanup. So what happens? You tell yourself, it's faster if I just do it.
Yes, that famous saying.
It's easier if I just handle it. Nobody cares as much as I do. And maybe that's true, but here's the part you don't want to admit. You're not drowning because your team can't handle the work. You're drowning because your leadership system can't support delegation. You're not bad at delegating. You were never taught how to delegate like a leader. Today, we're going to expose the real reason that you're still doing everything yourself. And it's got nothing to do with your team and everything to do with the system that you're running. If you're tired of carrying the entire business on your back, you're exactly where you need to be right now.
Yes.
This is why most businesses fail at delegation. And the real reason you're still doing everything yourself, okay? Now, most owners, they hand off the work, right? But not the responsibility. There's a difference when they say, do this, not own this, right? The tasks get done, but the problems don't get solved. You end up redoing the work anyway. So here's the punchline. If you're delegating tasks, you're still the operator. If you're delegating outcomes, now you're the leader. What do you think about that, Jess?
I think it's spot on. And I think it's, like you said, it's also in how you do it. I think that if you hand off a task and the outcome to another person, and it's in a way that you almost, in your body language, give them the feeling like you don't feel like they're going to accomplish it well and they're going to screw it up.
Yeah.
They're not going to take it seriously because in the back of their mind, they might think, well, so-and-so is just going to redo what I do. So why really try or put myself into it?
Right.
But if you really instill in them that this is part ownership of them, that the outcome is going to reflect them and their work ethic and their talents, it gives them positive ownership, not negative ownership. And I think that there's a big difference between those two. And that comes down to uplifting your team versus just treating them like a team.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever learn something like in your life and like you had just learned it? So you didn't have a clear grasp, like masterclass understanding of it, but you kind of like got it. And then someone else asked you to explain it and you couldn't really. You just got kind of like broad strokes but you couldn't really explain the importance of it. You couldn't really explain the intricacies of it. You couldn't explain the why. You could just kind of broad stroke. But what I mean by broad stroke is like somebody told you something and then you just kind of regurgitated what they told you. You didn't really do any deep diving research into it, no analytical thinking, no critical thinking. You just kind of regurgitated it, right? Have you ever been in that spot where you just kind of repeated something but you didn't know something?
Oh my gosh, we're human. So yes, everybody parrots things.
Yeah, of course, everyone has done it. This is exactly the same thing. When you're just delegating a task, that's not delegating. You're just handing off operations. You're just handing off tasks. That's not true delegation. Everyone freaking uses this word as a buzzword. Hashtag empowerment. Nobody really truly understands what that means. Okay.
No.
If I'm just delegating you tasks. If I just kept saying, hey, I need you to like mop. Every morning when you come in, I need you to mop the floor. And then I also need you to wipe down the windows. And then I also need you to, okay, see what I'm doing? I'm just giving you tasks. Where if I truly wanted you to own the system, own the operation, own the problem, what would I then really need to delegate? What do you think?
The overarching, can you clean the space?
Like, can you make sure that the space is a place where customers feel welcome, where they feel at home? Not at home, because that could mean different things. Their home can be holy dog shit, right? But if you described what the perfect home was, right? Like the perfect environment, excuse me, let's just use environment for work. If you described what the perfect environment looked for someone that wanted to feel warm, welcome, and invited, a place that they wanted to come to every day, that is true empowerment. You're not now just delegating tasks. That's going to become overwhelming. It's going to lead to decision fatigue, which we're going to get into again in another episode. It's going to lead into, and that's not true delegation. But if you, like Jess said, if you just said, hey, I want this to be yours. I want this function to be yours. And I want to give you a vision. I'm the leader. So I'm supposed to just give you the vision, which is what I want you to see. But if you as a leader don't see the vision, don't have the vision, and are not communicating that vision, do you think anybody else is?
No.
Fuck no. Hell no.
And I think at the end of the day, also, everyone wants to be heard. And if someone is delegating or giving tasks to said person and they don't feel like their opinion or their ideas or thoughts matter, they're not going to give a shit anyways in how they're executing it.
Right. Because this is exactly how it is. I'm giving the climate. This is exactly how it is. You don't have a delegation problem. You have a clarity problem. Clarity. And it's like this in all walks of life. All walks of life. If there's no ownership, they won't give a shit because it's not theirs. Because people rarely give a shit about someone else's shit. But when it's theirs, they will. Most people who are working, most people don't want their shit to be shit. They don't want their shit to look like shit or to be shit or to be crap, whatever word you want to use, ineffective. And they want their work to matter. Because like I said, all the time, people want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to know that they matter. And how can they do that? They do that sometimes with their tasks, with their responsibilities. But if there's not clarity, there's not ownership, who cares, right? They don't own it. Have you ever had to do that? Have you ever thought of this like this, delegating your vision instead of tasks?
Oh, you mean what I'm doing with Sharkapalooza?
Uh-oh. Are you doing that now?
No, I will admit. So when I first started doing shows for Fuzzy Sharks, my other company, I
just bought one too, by the way. I can't wait to get one.
He's on his way in the mail.
Yes. Y'all should go check out this Fuzzy Shark thing. I love it. By the way, this is like our internal commercial. You know, they have always commercials. Oh, if you're looking for, a way to conserve, and save the sharks, here's one way you can do it. Jess has this amazing product, and I just purchased one myself. It's a Fuzzy Shark. And why is it fuzzy? Do you know why? Of course you do.
Of course I do. I invented it. It is based on the theory of biophilia, which is a scientific theory that we're naturally drawn to things based on how they look. So if sharks were cute and fuzzy, would we think about them differently?
Yes. And I hope that it works. Because I have a fear of sharks too. Like the media has done this. The cinema has done this to us. It's like, they're so scary. They just want to kill me. They're murderers. So hopefully this will help change the way I see and feel about sharks. I'm going to get the shark. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to hold it and squeeze it and touch it. Yes. Where can they go and get this to help not only just to support you, but to support conservation?
Thank you. FuzzySharks.com. A portion of all proceeds go to a shark conservation group that does actual field work.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. So
So
back to,
when I started doing that work, I actually started doing trade shows, and I will fully admit that I was a bitch on wheels. Like, I had a friend or two helping me, and I was anal retentive about how the booth was being set up, the process, every little thing I was trying to micromanage. And over the years, and now that I've started Sharkapalooza, a nonprofit fundraiser festival, I have gotten much better at literally delegating properly. In like the last one that we had, it was interesting because I was told that people were going around me saying, "Is Jess okay? How's Jess doing? Is she okay? Is she stressed? How's she handling things?"
oh,
And everyone was like, "Actually, she's doing really well." I would say, "Hey, these two, you're volunteers. Here's the kids coloring contest area. These are the supplies. Can you please set it up? This is what we're looking for. Be free to make your decisions that you want. Like, I'm not going to micromanage." And that was their thing. Like, and they were excited because they then felt part of the entire process. And I now tell my team anytime we have a committee meeting or a small sub team meeting, yes, it was my idea. I'm the founder, I'm heading it, but this would not be possible without all of us together. And I truly mean that this is all now, we're all part of it. So I know by giving tasks out, I want their feedback, I want their opinions, because I'm not going to be able to think of everything, because my experience and skill set is set to me. There's unlimited amounts of experience and other types of opinions and ideas out there, and being open to those is incredibly important. And your team's only going to thrive as much as you allow room for them to thrive.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. See, people
Hasn't been easy.
No, it has. It's just not easy. It's not. But when we start reframing, start seeing things from a different perspective, such as this is all we're trying to do here. It's tactical business coaches here. Is trying to help you see from a different lens that people can't hit a target they can't see. Okay. I want you to see it from this perspective. Most owners, what they do is they give vague instructions and expect precise results. It's the lack of clarity that creates rework. The lack of clarity that creates rework. Okay. It's that frustration and that mistrust. This is what is creating this neural pathway for ourselves. And we delegate what we think what we're doing. Remember, it's not real delegation. What we're talking about now is real delegation. So that was the idea I was just having.
That was perfect timing.
This is real delegation. What you have been doing is just handing down tasks. But true, effective, impactful delegation, it starts here with clarity. Okay. Ambiguity is the enemy of delegation. Like I said in the beginning, when you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not unsure, or if you don't understand the vision of the project, nobody else will. And then you're going to start having decision fatigue. You're going to start gaining the mistrust from other people because they're bringing you back shit because your vision is shit. Okay. Look, no offense. I've done it too. I'm only telling you this because I've done it and I've learned. And now I'm giving you the fucking lessons here, man. This is gold right here. This is true gold.
And it's like giving someone a roadmap and then being upset they got lost. If you gave them a shitty map and then they get lost, they were working with what you gave them.
Right. And you said, here, come to me. Where are you? I don't know. Figure it out. Okay. You're going to get lost, right? You're still doing everything because you don't trust the system. And you've been burned. You've been burned by either bad hires or maybe you've been disappointed by whatever, a contractor that they screwed up. You've lowered your standards to get something off your plate. And now you assume that no one can do it like you. That's how it works, man.
And I think there is a small percentage, I'm not going to say everyone, of narcissism in there, that at some point, some people, and I'm just saying this because I feel like individuals should be aware that just because it's your idea doesn't mean that you're always going to be the right idea. So by you doing everything, you're not going to be able to do everything. And just because you are the CEO or the business owner doesn't mean that your idea is best. And I often see that in unsuccessful businesses that are struggling because the owner thinks that their way is always the right way, and they don't allow their team the room to give ideas or plan things out or create.
Yeah, that's called ego right there. And ego gets in the way of a lot of different people, industries, different sectors. So yeah, we're not talking about ego. We're talking about that could run a lot of businesses into the ground. I've seen
but it can't stop also from delegating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So look, if your ego's in a way, that's a different episode coming up. Okay. That's ego. We're talking, I'm talking to individuals that are they've been delegating and they're not getting back the results that they want. is here's a different lens. Here's just a perspective that you can see. Okay. This is for those that potentially it's not your ego that's in the way. That could be because it's in all of us, right? We always are constantly fighting our ego. So definitely that is one for sure, like box that you have to check. Like, wait a minute, step out of yourself, look in. Is this me? Is this me like fighting this because of my ego? Because I want to be right or I want it to be my idea? That's your ego. Get that out of the way. And once you have gotten it, trash that out of the way. Now, the problem isn't, or really the trust isn't built by people, it's built by different systems. And we have to build a system, just like we were talking about before. Build
Yes.
those systems. When you have systems in place, that's less decision making that you have to do because there's already, you want your business to work like a clock. It's always going tick tock, tick tock. You don't, not much you have to do besides like charge it up, leave it in the sun. Or if you got one of those watches where it's motion, right? That's all you have to do to it. It's not your team that's underperforming. They're under onboarded. Okay. Most owners, they just throw people into roles without SOPs, standard operating procedures, clear expectations, success metrics, or feedback loops. And then what? They blame the person instead of the process. It's not people. People don't fail. Systems fail. Okay. So let's talk about how delegation requires letting go of control, not standards. Okay. You can keep your standards high without micromanaging. You can maintain quality without doing everything yourself. And you can even lead without hovering. Have you ever been there and you hover?
Of course.
Control is about fear. Standards are about leadership. We're trying to change that fear, that mistrust that someone's going to screw that up by true empowerment. We want people to truly empower your people by giving them the right vision, creating these systems. Look, I once hired someone to take over like a major part of my workload, and I gave them a list of tasks. I told them what I wanted and assumed that they were just going to figure it out. Guess what? They didn't. The work came back wrong. It came back late or nowhere near my standards. Okay. I was frustrated, embarrassed, and I was even convinced that I couldn't trust anyone anymore. I started building these neural pathways. I can't trust anyone. It's going to be me or no one else. But I started to look back and I realized that the truth was I didn't delegate the outcome. I delegated the tasks and I didn't give those people clarity. What I was really giving them was fucking chaos. And the failure wasn't theirs. It was all mine. This is a lot of business owners. And I'm not trying to blame. I'm trying to identify. The only way we can move forward really in our business and success is if we identify and then learn and move forward. Okay. Most business owners aren't bad at delegation. They're not. They're bad at preparing people to succeed. Would you agree with that?
Yes. I think that often business owners think they're doing the right thing by not giving someone the outcome or the expectations, thinking that they're giving them the freedom, but they are just handing them chaos. So it's actually the opposite.
Have you ever had, so you're going through something right now currently. You mind if I put you on the spot?
Sure.
So before you like started your team, your vision, did you tell everyone on your team, did you have a meeting and say, look, this is my vision. This is what I see. This is what I feel like the conservation efforts for this event is going to look and feel like?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. That's excellent.
So, yes, go ahead.
What did that look like?
Well, you know me. So I created an agenda and it outlined our mission statement, core values. I basically built the business and then went over that with the team. But I also asked the committee where they felt that their skill sets would be best utilized and where that they would most enjoy working. I didn't want to have committee members, me, delegate or give them tasks that maybe weren't in their wheelhouse, their sweet spot, or that would make them feel uncomfortable when everybody has strengths. So it was really communicating and understand where were everyone's strengths and where we could plug them in, and then where were those gaps that we needed to fill. So it was, here's the mission, the plan, my vision, and then how can we all work together to get what we need done while also learning what we don't know.
Yeah. You know, a lot of what my problem is. And look, if you have this problem, I don't think it's a real big, it could be, but I don't have like a problem where I don't like allow people to see like the vision. Like, this is what I see. This is what I want. And it's got not a lot to do with ego either, because I've learned to take my ego out of it and try and listen and see and learn from everyone. But for me, I think my biggest problem is I like to be involved in everything. Not because I don't trust people. I just want to. I like the work. I like doing it. I want to be a part of the process. I want to be a part of the build. I'm a
Yeah.
creator. I like to create things, build things, construct. And that's just who I am. So I want to be a part of every process. But it's so hard to be like in charge and to do all those things. You could potentially, and I like to visualize this. And if one of my old commanders is watching, this is about you. So we would have like this PT every morning, right? Every morning, 5, 6 in the morning, we go for this fucking 3K, and we'd have to run in the morning. And now I don't mind. Back then, of course, I complained about it. And my commander, tall, wiry, but in shape, older than all of us, he would go. We would all go. He would start at the back, run, stop at every individual, and be like, "How are you doing? How's your family? How's this? Hey, how's it going? How's your family?
Aw.
How's this?" While we were running, having a conversation, run all the way, talk to the very first person. Once he's finished connecting with everyone, fucking burn everyone. And I'm like, how are you doing this? I'm about to throw up. And you're over here just galloping like a giraffe. And everything is just like working for you. I don't know how it is. But that is how I explain how I am right now with that system is I can afford to do that because when I describe what I want, okay, now what I do is since I've given that clarity and the capacity, now we just have checkpoints. So now we just like review the progress. So now everyone's like running, right? I'm not, the run's already in place. So I don't have to really do anything. I just go and checkpoint now. Hey, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? How's that coming up? Right? This is going to eliminate 90% of delegation failures. Clarity, capacity, and checkpoints. Right? You have checkpoints, right? You're going over like what is
Yes.
it you need for your event. This is a huge, huge endeavor. An event, massive event that you're having. Where are you having it, by the way? Clearwater?
Clearwater, Coachman Park, May
Sharkapalooza.
16th. Yes, sharkapalooza.org.
Yeah, I'm going, by the way. I'm going to go. I can't wait. And I'm in Texas, so there's no excuses for y'all out there that can't go. I'm going to
Yeah.
go all the way from Texas to Clearwater to enjoy Sharkapalooza.
Thank you.
I love it. I can't wait. But yes, this can eliminate so much delegation failure, progress, checkpoints. Now, this isn't micromanaging. This is just checking in because you have to still make adjustments. Someone may understand your vision, but there may be little micro checks or adjustments. Because one, you may have that vision, but a vision is just a vision. When you see it come to fruition, you may see, oh, wait, this is not exactly what I thought it was going to be in my vision, and it's not working in real life. So we may need to make adjustments. And that's what those checkpoints are also for.
Yeah.
From right, I'm sure you ran into the same issue. You're like, this is what I imagined, but shit, it's coming in real life. Let's adjust.
Or yes, because
Or things get in the way, like the city.
Things, yes, the city, permits, insurance, budget, timelines, holidays, things out of our control that you have to adapt to and communicate through.
Yeah. And you communicate those very well. So
Thank you.
those are the 3 C's that I'm offering up. Okay. Capacity, checkpoints, clarity. We've got to be clear on all these things. So we need to delegate those outcomes, not the tasks. So ask yourself this. Instead of send this email, try own communication with this client. Your goal is to maintain trust and keep them informed. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I've just said, I want you to own the communication. This is what I expect. Goal is to maintain trust and keep them informed. You can do that however you want. Texting, calling, writing, carrier pigeon, whatever. The goal still is there, right? The outcome is greater than the task itself. And once they own that, then you can come in and use the 3 C's. Clarity, checkpoints, right? Make sure, hey, are you getting everything done? The other thing is we can build a simple SOP before you delegate anything. Your standard operating procedures. You have those?
Yes.
You do? What does that look like for you?
Well, we have a lot of those actually, and they're built out on a Google Drive that everyone can access.
Oh, no, here we go. The Google Drive. Be careful what you say about them.
I love Google. But yes, from the very beginning, that was something that I communicated to the committee that as we did this, seeing that this was our first time together and doing this planning on our own, not utilizing a facility, that we were going to build processes in place so that next year we have, documents and checklists and things written down that will make things a little bit easier for new people on the team or for us to review and look back on and say, oh, how did we do this?
Yeah. Your standard operating procedure only really needs three things. What does done look like? The steps to get there and common mistakes to avoid. Okay, you don't need a fucking binder. Okay. You just need clarity. I think what is also a good idea is to create a feedback loop. It's just a weekly 10-minute check-in. What's working? What's stuck? What support do you need? This is going to prevent those small issues from becoming big failures. And also stop hiring for skill and start hiring for ownership.
Ooh, that's a good
Skills
one.
can be trained. This is a huge pet peeve of mine. When I was on a few years back, right, I got out of the military. It's like, okay, start to look. Let's look for a job that fits me, right? I can't stand how all of these businesses have every fucking little task that this person is going to be responsible for. I'm like, who is writing all of this? Who? And then at the end, it's like, oh, these aren't all the tasks. Dude, first of all, you just wrote like 50,000 tasks. Plus, you want a bachelor's, you want a master's, plus, you want 50 years of experience, and you're only willing to pay this much. Are you stupid? Are you all stupid out there? I'm sorry, but this is dumb. This is not good. Not good practice. You need to start thinking with your minds. Start thinking. Hire for ownership. Okay. You can start by leading the way and stop copying what everybody else is doing. All you HR people out there, start thinking for yourselves. Start utilizing this. I know you have it. What you're doing is you're just being complacent and you're just doing what everyone
Yes.
else is doing. Skills can be trained. Ownership cannot. So look for people who ask questions, take initiative, think ahead, and care about the outcome. That is something that you're looking for in an individual. What do you think about that, Jess? Who would you look for if you wanted to hire somebody? Would you look for someone who's done marketing or someone who's naturally creative?
Well, and I have in past lives when I worked for corporations and I hired someone, it was obviously they have to know the job somewhat, but someone who was definitely passionate and wanted to work hard. They didn't have to know everything, but someone who has that passion and ownership is going to far exceed someone who is incredibly high on skills, but doesn't want to apply themselves.
Right. Or doesn't want to own any problem, doesn't want to own any outcome. They're just like, hey, man, that was his fault. That was her fault. That was this fault. That was that fault. But they have got 50 years experience. Here's my philosophy. You could be doing something for 50 years wrong. So think about that. I've met people who've been doing the job for 20 years and they've been doing it wrong for 20 years, Holmes. Sorry, brah.
I just recently learned how to fold a fitted sheet. I've been doing that wrong my entire life.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly my point, right? You've lived with someone who's like, yeah, how is my cooking? And you're like, it's good. It's really not. And you're just saying that it is. Guess what? They're going to keep serving you that shit because you're telling them the feedback loop is you're doing great and it tastes like shit. You're giving them the wrong feedback. And
Yes.
you may, hey, look, whatever, it's your family. I don't care. But anyways, start asking the right questions. This is how true in all walks of life, especially coaching. Start asking the right questions. Start finding people that care about the outcome. Those people are going to be there for the long haul because they care. They care. These are the people that are going to reduce your workload instead of just adding to it. Don't you agree? People that have like excuses. Would you take someone who had excuses and zero marketing or 50 years of marketing experience over someone who owned everything and had zero excuses?
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Dude, think about it. That's all I'm saying. Think about it.
And I also feel that having a conversation with someone, even if you don't know what questions to ask, just starting and having the conversation, because maybe it's about seeing what works better for them to perform, to take ownership.
Yeah. Now, these are just really, really extremes. Okay. This is obviously something I'm passionate about.
Yes.
I'm very passionate about several things in my life. One of them is common sense. I don't like people just copying. Oh, like everyone is, why invent the wheel? Maybe because the wheel is stupid that you've been using. Maybe the wheel you've been copying isn't working, but you're still expecting results, but you still have high turnover because you're using the same stupid ass wheel. Start
maybe
thinking.
it's a square and it's not a wheel at all. You keep calling it a wheel, but it's really not a wheel.
No, it's not. It's not the wheel. So you're not delegating. You're not. This is true delegation. Okay. You're not doing everything yourself because you're a control freak. You're doing everything yourself because you've never been taught how to delegate like a leader. Delegation isn't about giving work away. It's not. It's about building a business that doesn't collapse without you. Do you have any last words?
I think that was all fantastic.
Remember, delegate right, delegate quick, and delegate smart. This is Rex and Jess. We are your tactical business coaches. If you need any special consulting, please reach out to us at tacticalbusinesscoachingusa.com, and we will do what we can to get with you. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next episode.